do a better one. Hi! I'm going to do a better one. Hi. That's the one. That's the keeper. Definitely not all three of them. Welcome to Venture Bros, Venture Brothers Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Bryan Dressel. With me, as always, is Nick Sugar Cookie Friedemann.
That's not a fruit.
Sweet as butter. Yeah,
It's
I know.
not
It's really
season
not a
3.
fruit. Oh, that's true.
It's Christmas.
Oh, gotcha.
So Nick Sugar Cookie Friedemann
Yes.
and Graham Bah-Humbug Mason.
Oh, you weren't gonna go with Krampus?
Damn it! Nah, I made the right choice.
All right.
Feel good about it.
Humbug.
Bah-Humbug. So Merry Christmas! This episode is coming out on Christmas, and if you're listening to it and you're avoiding your family, much like I'm sure I'm going to try to do with the exception of my son, I would say listen to this, listen after the hype, listen to Samwise, read our articles. Our website exploded with content today, all for you.
Yay.
George. One George is like, oh, me.
And John. And especially you, Sally.
Now you're just listing off characters in the show.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. What are you thinking? So, back in season 1, when we were talking about, the season, we thought maybe we'll do a Very Venture Christmas, because it's technically listed as episode 14, technically,
Yeah.
even though it takes place before the end of the season, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It either takes before the end of the season or near the end of season 2, which doesn't make any sense. So it'd have to be before the end of season 1.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right?
It has to. It's got to be right before the end of season 1.
Yeah. Sally is pregnant in it, so that's kind of she hasn't had Rocket yet. And that's really, I think that's the only thing you really use to tie it to any point in time.
Yeah.
But it's called A Very Venture Christmas. It is their only Christmas special. They also have a Halloween special later. We'll get to that. That's really all the positive things I have to say about it.
Yeah.
It's the main reason we didn't review it back with season 1 is because it's not very good.
No.
No.
To me,
And it's
this
really
is what I
short.
was- it's
Yeah,
really short.
really
It's like
short.
11 minutes long.
Yeah.
I was gonna say this earlier, but I didn't want to burn it off mic. But I was like, to me, it reads like Cartoon Network was like, "Look, we really want a Christmas episode. Doesn't need to be long. Can you do it?" And they were like, "Sure." Because it doesn't have any of the normal Venture sort of like humor. It doesn't have anything that ties into the world really. Like it feels kind of off for the world, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
it just seems like it is.
Yeah, it feels like a Venture Brothers Venture Christmas episode.
Yes.
Of like,
Yeah,
oh
like,
shit, we need to do a Christmas episode. All right, what should we do? Well, the Krampus is a thing. Yeah, okay, how about like Dr. Orpheus or the Ventures, like get the Krampus and then, shit happens. Okay,
Well,
yeah,
here's
that sounds good. Write it.
The one thing that before we jump too far into it, Nick, do you want to say a really quick summary of what actually happens in it?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. I was just like, wait, this doesn't make any sense if you skip this episode, because it's really kind of difficult to find.
Yeah. So this is the episode. Dr. Venture throws a Christmas party for many of his friends, but the party goes awry when Dean and Hank find Dr. Orpheus' spellbook and accidentally summon the Krampus. Meanwhile, the Monarch has hatched yet another plan to kill Dr. Venture, this time involving Bryan. Oh my god. Bryan is typing as I'm reading these notes, which then obstructed the last line because it was like, do you want to know that Bryan is typing these notes? So I'll read it in full.
Read the prompter.
I'm a slave to the prompter. Meanwhile, the Monarch has hatched yet another plan to kill Dr. Venture, this time involving a nativity scene booby-trapped with a C4 explosive led by his operative, Tiny Joseph. I'm a doo-doo head and a dirty pirate hooker.
Nick, I had no idea.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Hold on, I wasn't done yet. Open parentheses https://en.m.
Oh, no.
Oh God, he's deleting it. Oh no.
Go back in time.
There's a Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.
I was really hoping it wasn't going to change everything when I started typing, but then it definitely did.
Oh, it did. It's funny, like, there's a little pink moniker that's like Bryan Dressel, and it's just like huge over. I was like, oh, God. Okay. Well, that's pretty much the whole thing. Krampus comes and then leaves pretty much like as quickly as he came.
Yep. Yeah.
Leaves at midnight.
I think that's, for me, if I'm going to critique this episode as if it was a real episode, because I no offense, obviously, to the people who made it, because it obviously takes work. I'm not saying it's not a real episode, but it just doesn't feel Venture Brothers-y. No. And I think that's, for me, the major sticking point, is that Krampus just sort of leaves.
Yep.
Like, that just doesn't feel like a Venture Brothers conclusion.
No.
And I mean, it kind of does, but they don't play off of it hard enough, I don't think.
Yeah, and the whole, like, subvert expectations and, letdown can be funny. That's kind of there, but it didn't have the execution they usually do. Like, usually when they do this sort of thing, it's hilarious. And this one's just kind of like, oh, I guess that's over now.
Right. There's usually something like a button at the end of the episode after, Krampus would leave or whatever, and there just isn't really a button, or if there was, I don't remember it, and I watched this episode. See, then there you go. I was going to say, I don't remember one, which is a pretty typical sitcom-y thing, but it's something that the Venture Brothers always nails. Like, for example, one of Brian's favorite moments is the two henchmen firing their guns at Brok on the hover thing, and then one of them throws the gun after running out of bullets, and the button at the end of that scene, he's like, go get it. And it's just like, that's the whole thing. It's like they usually do great. Yeah. They do great buttons, and they just don't do one for this. It's such a weird episode for that.
Well, it's just a weird episode in general. Like, it felt like a whole bunch of, like, half-baked ideas that were like, good enough. And that's the main reason why I say Venture Brothers, at least in my opinion, is my favorite show of all time and one of the best shows of all time, is because they never, for the most part, never settle for good enough.
Yes.
I mean, that's why the seasons take so long to come out. That's why they're so tightly written. That's why the show is as good as it is, because they're so ridiculously perfectionist that there's no... Like, when there's a mistake, they own up to it and they change it. So, like, there's never, like, well, I wish they'd finally address that thing. It's like, no, they do everything. Everything that you could probably want will be addressed, unless you're a really big fan of Triana's friend for some reason.
Yes.
Mm. So, like, so to have an episode like this, where it's just like, Krampus could be kind of funny. Maybe if it was all a dream after, like, crashing the plane, that could be kind of funny. It's just, everything's like, it just felt like, well, that could be funny. Yeah. Let's give it a shot. Yeah. Like, I even like the shot of Hank walking through the yard with Charlie Brown's Christmas tree. Like, it's funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it just, nothing really lands. Like, nothing really lands. Like, there's a couple lines, I think, that might make you chuckle, but it just doesn't work.
We talked about this in the pilot, and now that I have more distance from the pilot, what it is that it feels like it is... Maybe this is an inflammatory statement, but it's like the Diet Coke to Coke. Where it's like, if you're hankering for Coke, Diet Coke isn't going to cut it, and vice versa. If you're hankering for Diet Coke, Coke isn't going to cut it. And to me, this feels kind of like that, where it's like the Venture Brothers, but it's not really going to satisfy that craving. And, the pilot's the pilot. Almost every pilot, except for a handful of shows, are not great. Sure. And this is like, okay, fine. But the Christmas episode just feels kind of like either a first draft or a rush job or blah, 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 blah. But it just doesn't feel like it scratches the itch of what I'm looking for with a Venture Brothers episode at all.
Yeah. And especially now, like, I mean, my experience with, like, Doctor Who and stuff like that, of, like, you can watch any of those Christmas specials and you won't have much spoiled for you, but you know that there's more time spent in it, maybe not on story and stuff like that. You know it's going to be campy Christmas stuff, but they're usually pretty damn entertaining.
Yes. With the exception of the last Matt Smith one, I totally agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously a couple duds in there, but it's like, come on, how many have they done? So,
yeah,
where it's
so
like this, to where it's like, Adventure Christmas one. Okay, this will be kind of fun. And then, like, already when you see the runtime, and then you see even the description of it sounds kind of interesting, but as you're watching it, it's like just a complete and total letdown.
Yeah, it doesn't work. And the way that I kind of, when I was talking to Chewy about it a little bit ago, the way that I kind of see it is, it's kind of like, I'm not sure if Marvel still does this. I know DC does. They do their Christmas books or their summer vacation books where they hire a whole bunch of not their normal writers to write like these one-off kind of somewhat themed stories in one collection for $10. And they never feel right. Like, never. Like, I think once there was a Constantine story that was pretty okay. But that doesn't feel like Batman. That's not Harley Quinn. That's definitely not Green Lantern. Like, it's just kind of like, oh, these are the characters doing something Christmassy to get some money and some notoriety. And I feel like the same way for this episode. It's like, oh, here are the Venture Brothers characters doing something Christmassy, but it's not really them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I mean, if you really are in the mood for Christmas and you want to watch the Venture Brothers characters be Christmassy, this is what you'd watch, and you'll get some joy out of it if that's what you're looking for. But if you're looking for an episode or like really anything, this one just doesn't click.
Yes.
Which is a bummer. That's not the best way to spend Christmas, I understand. But luckily, they made it rather difficult to find. You have to pay for it, or you don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Star Wars Christmas special of the Venture Brothers.
Yeah, definitely. That might be a little too mean, but...
yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. It might be. But I meant more in the it's hard to find sort of thing, because you couldn't find the Christmas special for a long time for the Star Wars
Very true.
Christmas special.
I can't wait till J.J. Abrams remakes it and calls it something, like Episode 9. I don't have strong feelings about Star Wars at all. Is there anything else we have to say about this thing?
No. At least I don't.
I think I've said everything I can say.
I think when we were off, I was saying, it was like, Venture Brothers Very Venture Christmas. It is an episode. I'm going to walk that back.
It is half an
That's
episode.
Fair. It's a thing that I watched.
I'll say this much. If I have to say something positive about the episode, and I feel like I should, because we're pretty brutal on this one, I love the design of Krampus. I think he is a very, very funny design, especially because he has a basket with 2 kids in it at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was
I think that was
decent.
definitely the first thing that they got was, okay, Ventures, ooh, Krampus, yeah, that'll be good. And then they nailed that design. They nailed it, the character and how he's just kind of like stalks around the room for like 3/4 of the episode. I totally agree with you. I think they got that right, and his crazy weird tongue and everything. Awesome.
Yeah, that was. Yeah. If I got to say something nice about the episode, and I should, it's my favorite show. That is its best thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think Tiny Joseph is a funny concept.
Yeah, he comes back too.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he's in season 2.
Yeah.
He writes out the microdots.
Of course. Yeah. That gets immediately intercepted.
Yeah.
They nailed Pete White and Dr. Orpheus in this as well. So, there's that.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So, do we want to do our Season 1 review, which was our favorite moment, or do we want to do our Season 3, because it's technically where we're at, of funniest moment? You know what? It's Christmas. Pick what you want to do.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go with funny moment, and it's got to be a Brok line, because it's fucking funny. And that's when the Krampus is, of course, trying to take after the naughty people, and he goes immediately for Rusty, because that's what you do. And Brok shows up to save Rusty and goes, "Hey, Fancy Pants, I've been naughty." So good.
That is pretty amazing.
That is the only part in the entire show, the entire episode, that makes me laugh out loud. Beyond the Krampus immediately going for Rusty, because I love it when Rusty's in pain.
Yep, that was gonna be my moment, because it's accurate. Like him just like going around inspecting everybody, or Krampus, going around and inspecting everybody, and then just immediately destroying Rusty is like, story checks out. Like this is accurate.
Accurate.
That makes sense.
Yep.
And Graham?
Yeah, I was just gonna go with Pete White hitting on Triana, or attempting to, with his.
That made me
silly...
so uncomfortable.
Not that, but the Dr. Orpheus intervening and just making the mistletoe just explode in his head. It's like,
that was great.
Cool.
Pete White hitting
Great.
on a teenager is just like, that's, ugh.
It's so Pete White, though.
I'm not even sure if that's Pete White. I don't take Pete White as that gross.
I mean, it was the first time
She's
he's
supposed
ever
to be
seen
16.
her, though. Huh?
She's supposed to be 16. Ugh.
Going on 17.
Yeah, that's true.
Ugh. Gross.
I forgot about that part. I was
Yeah.
gonna say, like, it doesn't surprise me at all that he would hit on like an 18-year-old, but I keep forgetting that she's supposed to be 16.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Fucking Pete White.
Exactly.
And I don't think Pete White's ever been that disgusting since or before.
Yeah, they probably walked him back. But I mean, I don't know if he. I mean, obviously he didn't know, but still,
it still makes me. She would look young enough for him to go, maybe I shouldn't try to coerce her into making out with me in front of her dad.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bryan for just this one thing, which is if I am.
I'm definitely not condoning him.
Look,
Let me get that
Graham.
clear. I'm just saying we've already established Pete White as a gross, disgusting man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
I don't want to make assumptions. I don't know how Graham was raised, but
I'm not condoning his activity.
I know. That's not what I was trying to say. I was joking.
Dr. Orpheus stepped in and was fucking
Yes.
awesome father as he is usually, without being completely overbearing.
Hey, Graham, do you want to pick a new moment?
Yeah. No.
Dear God.
I want to make a point very quickly, which is if I was invited to a Christmas party, just in general, I wouldn't hit on anybody there. Because it's like, that just doesn't seem
especially
like the right place.
teenager.
Exactly. That's the whole point, is regardless of like the situation, I wouldn't hit on anybody, because Christmas parties are one of two things, like business parties or family parties, neither of which are like particularly fun, like at all.
Yeah. Oh, I hate Pete White. I love him, but I hate him.
Yep.
And this is his lowest, like, ugh. Gross.
Yes.
Like, I've seen you be an asshole, but I've never seen you be disgusting.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't flush the toilet, so.
Oh, there is that. God, he's the worst.
He is. Oh, he's the worst.
Oy. Okay, well, with that, I should say get back to your families. You know, go enjoy Christmas. Unless you're listening to this on an episode on a day that isn't Christmas, then, you know, do whatever the fuck you want. But if it's Christmas, you know, go give someone a hug and say Merry Christmas from Bryan, Graham, and Nick, and they won't know what you're talking about, and that'll be great. Take a video of it and send it to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Along with your Dogecoin.
Yeah, the more awkward videos you can send to us of saying weird things to people that don't understand it, the happier we'll be. Like, just in general. So send those videos, athpod@gmail.com. Or, sorry, athpodcast@gmail.com. And I will enjoy seeing all of them. And I might even post a few if they're particularly funny. So, if you're out there celebrating Christmas, Merry Christmas from Bryan, Nick, and Graham.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Happy holidays.
Toodles.
No, the beast will not stop until it has punished the wicked in this house.
Well, there's no one wicked here. What? Hey, what the hell? Oh, for the love of... Oh, that's the last... Okay, that's it, mister. Get out. Oh, Brok! Oh, come in, Brok!
Fancy pants. I've been naughty.